Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more real-life stories like this. It all started when my wife reconnected with an old friend, a woman who had recently gone through a painful divorce. At first, I welcomed it. I thought it might brighten her spirits. She seemed lighter, more cheerful, and more open. Seeing her laugh freely again felt good. But gradually, I began noticing small, unsettling shifts in her behavior. Her friend had a bitter view of relationships, and it slowly began to influence my wife. The first real warning came one evening when she casually asked what I thought about couples seeing other people outside their marriage. I laughed it off at first, thinking she was joking, but she kept bringing it up over the following weeks, each time brushing aside my discomfort as old-fashioned thinking. Soon, she started spending more nights away, always claiming it was just time with her friend. I wanted to trust her, but something felt off. Her phone became secretive. Late-night texts made her smile in ways she hadn't before, and her style changed whenever she went out. The woman I knew and loved seemed to be slipping further from me. One night, I overheard her on a call, laughing and saying how freeing it felt not to be tied down. My stomach sank. This wasn't just casual chatting. When I confronted her, she became defensive, insisting her friend was helping her live a little instead of being stuck in a predictable marriage. Hearing her describe our life like that shattered me. Eventually, she admitted that her friend had even suggested being unfaithful if I wouldn't agree to an open marriage. That revelation broke me, not just because of her actions, but because she had trusted someone else's toxic advice over our years together. I didn't have to wait long for my fears to come true. One night, I caught her sneaking into the house late. When confronted, she admitted she'd been seeing someone else. She called it an experiment, as though that could soften the blow. I was crushed. Trust that had taken years to build had vanished in moments. Then came the hardest moment of all. A few weeks later, she told me she was pregnant. The timing left no doubt. It likely wasn't mine. My entire world crumbled. She cried, claiming she didn't know who the father was and hadn't intended for things to go so far. But intentions didn't erase the pain. The chaos she created was irreversible. Her friend had disappeared, leaving my wife and me to face the fallout. She tried to blame the influence of that friend, but I reminded her, no one forced her decisions. These were hers alone. From that day, I began to emotionally detach. Our home became cold and silent. Every glance at her sparked anger and sorrow. I replayed our memories over and over, the dreams, the promises, the laughter, and they all felt like sharp reminders of what was lost. Friends and family noticed the change. Some offered comfort, while others urged me to leave. Deep down, I knew they were right, but the pregnancy complicated everything. She wanted me to stay regardless of the circumstances, but I couldn't imagine raising a child that wasn't mine. It felt impossible. Eventually, I accepted the truth. Love and trust were gone beyond repair. Forgiveness could not fix this. I told her I wanted a divorce. She cried, pleaded, and blamed her friend again, but my decision was final. I couldn't remain in a marriage where loyalty no longer existed. Now, I'm slowly rebuilding my life, learning to heal from betrayal. It hurts, but I know I deserve someone who values fidelity. The child is innocent, but the chain of events that brought us here wasn't my doing. I refuse to carry the weight of her choices any longer. I'm focusing on myself, reclaiming my peace and confidence day by day. As for my wife, she must face the consequences of her actions. Perhaps one day she'll understand the destruction she caused, but by then it will be too late. I'm done suffering for what she destroyed.